Hi, I'm Introved, and today it's time for another book review. After ages, I got to read a book and I finished it in 2 days flat. So, the book is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time by Mark Haddon. This is it. Alright, so the very name intrigued me, and that is the reason I had purchased it in the first place. Now, this story is about a special boy called Christopher. He's just 15 years old. And much later in the book, I am able to figure out that he has Asperger's syndrome, which is mentioned at the back of the book as well. Initially, all that we are told is that he's a special needs child who studies in a special school where he's surrounded by students who also have special needs. And he has such interesting observations to make about his status as a special child. So, the interesting thing about the book is that Christopher is not only the protagonist, but he's also the narrator of the story. And why is that interesting, you may ask? Because Asperger's syndrome is a very special kind of autism, a developmental disorder, wherein people are not socially adept at dealing with other people. That is, they're not able to understand other people's thoughts or feelings or even work out what they are thinking or feeling according to their facial expressions. So they are not very good at it. However, at the same time, it's not necessary that they are dull or intellectually they are very backward. On the contrary, some of them turn out to be geniuses. Like in this story, Christopher is excellent at maths. So much so that he's taking A-level maths and is doing extremely well. Otherwise, also you can see his interest in science because there is a generous sprinkling of things that he keeps on recalling, and of course it's unconnected with the whole story, the rest of the plot, that is. But then he keeps talking about these bits and pieces about the universe and stars and solar system, which not only indicates his interest but also his intelligence. So it is remarkable. Another remarkable thing about him being the narrator is that the story doesn't have much of descriptions or emotions or thoughts per se. Especially, there is least bit of understanding of what the other people are thinking or feeling. It's very factual. He states one thing after another, and you're left to figure out for the first few chapters at least, trying to understand what he's trying to convey. So it all starts with the brutal murder of a dog, a neighbor's dog, and then he decides to write a book about the whole incident because he doesn't like fiction much, understandably, because he's very eccentric and he doesn't understand the social aspect of the world around him and people, of course. So he decides to write a murder mystery, and he's encouraged by the teachers at school as well about it. However, as he tries to unravel this mystery, his whole life, falls apart at one point of time, because his father was into a small business, he didn't have any siblings, and he had been told his mother had died when he was a young boy. But then he discovers things were otherwise, and things were a lot more complicated. So what makes it an interesting read is how he deals with the world around him, what goes on in his head as he does so. As someone who suffers from Asperger's syndrome, for example, he doesn't like yellow and brown color, he doesn't like to be touched. He feels that people don't give him proper instructions, as in don't go here or there. If something like this is told to him, he wants to know exactly like what's the time limit or time frame for that. So he wants very clear instructions. He doesn't like food touching on his plate. So nothing yellow or brown in color is edible to him. So he puts food color into whatever he plans to eat if he likes something which has a tinge of yellow or brown to it, and so on and so forth. So the book is full of these kind of eccentricities, and you will be surprised at some point because there are some maths problems also solved therein. Whenever he's bogged down by the thoughts and feelings of people around him and he's not able to understand or make sense of his world, that's when he dives deep into mathematics. So he starts, doing mental maths and he does quite a few advanced sums therein and calculations. So, the most beautiful part about this book is that it's very unique in the way it has been narrated. That is because of the protagonist, who's also the narrator and who has this special condition. And one other very interesting thing about this book on the whole is that if I had just read about this condition somewhere on Google or in some random book about psychology, or if I had just heard about it, I might have forgotten it. But then Christopher as a character will always stay in my mind. And since he's the one who has Asperger's syndrome, I'll always remember what are the main characteristics of a person who has that sort of an autism. So that is why they say that books impart a lot of knowledge to us also. And if you want to know more about Big Bang Theory, that is also explained by him beautifully in the book. So there's a lot to be enjoyed in the book. I hope you like this recommendation of mine and the description of the book. I don't want to ruin all the surprise elements and the plots and the twists and turns in the story for you, but then I highly recommend this book to all of you. Go ahead, read it, enjoy it, and let me know in the comment section how you found it. So till next time, take care. Catch you soon.